Hey guys, welcome to another video. I've been waiting to get a gun back that had this trouble so that I could demonstrate for you how to fix it so that you don't have to send it back. So this customer couldn't get it adjusted correctly and it's blowing too much air. So I'm going to show you what it sounds like when the stopper pin, there's been a video already by Ed. Let me raise this up for you guys. So let me show you what happens when the stopper pin, this is an empty cylinder, and what happens is, and I'm going to take this opportunity to explain the function of this gun too. So let's talk about the problem, how it functions, some troubleshooting, and maybe this will help you eliminate some of the problems that you might have. But here we go. You see how it blew a ton of air that time? So you can kind of control it by not squeezing the trigger too much. See that? But what? If I hold the trigger, what I'm doing is I'm essentially pushing that valve too long with this. So let's take a look at what exactly is happening and why some of you don't experience it. And quite honestly, I think sometimes when I send these out, I don't catch it because I'm so used to how to operate this trigger that I don't ride the trigger. On this gun, because this doesn't have a regular sear that falls, it's got a little arm that comes back here, as you can see right here. If I ride this trigger and I push it, what will happen is it just pushes the valve so much. So what Ed and his team did is made a little stopper pin. It's a real simple little thing that basically comes out, stops, and the measurement of this pin and the rod that comes out of here is supposed to be about a 1 millimeter difference between the two. So the rod's supposed to stick 1 millimeter proud above the stopper screw. The stopper screw is not really needed if you have good trigger control on the gun, but not everybody does. If you sit and ride the trigger like I just showed you, and the stopper pin is not adjusted correctly, you can get this thing to blow a ton of air at one time. You can see I almost took half of my tank out. Now let's talk about the function of the gun and why sometimes when this happens. Okay, so let's talk about how to adjust the stopper pin and how far it needs to be. It's a minimum of a 1/2 millimeter between the, or it has to stick out a 1/2 millimeter, but I literally normally just adjust them by feel. And what I mean by that is I shoot them and try to get them to blow too much air, as I demonstrated in the video before. So let's go ahead and take a look here. The first step you're going to do is turn the gun over. You're going to expose the bottom of the screw here, which is a 2.5 millimeter. All you're going to do is break this loose and you're good. Now if it's blowing too much air, which means the pin is too flush to the breech face, and what you're going to essentially do is turn it counterclockwise about a 1/4 turn. Okay, and then you're going to tighten your locking screw back down, and then what we're going to do is test it. And we're going to see, and just for safety's sake, you can see it's an empty cylinder, and let's test it and see if we can get it to make the air again. As you can see in this video, I'm even holding the trigger down like I told you guys not to, but it's still not doing it. So that is a properly adjusted stopper pin, and I hope that alleviates any problems. Just remember, step 1 is going to be disconnect your air cylinder. Step 2, release the locking screw. Step 3, find the stopper pin that's located on the front of the breech face, back it out a 1/4 turn. Step 4, lock the screw back down again. 5 is to put the gun together. And 6 is to basically test it. All right, and I'll put Ed's video at the end of this video. I hope that alleviates any questions, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.